practitioners, you know what I'm saying, or masters of the MGTOW craft, and
hell no, I love the box.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, and we're not on the extreme side as far as hating women or anything of that, or using hateful rhetoric. We're here to, because you my sis, you know what I mean, and you have a son.
Yes.
You know what I mean, so it's to inform out of love, you know what I mean, understanding, to make sure people understand really what's going on out here, or how to prepare yourself for that wave, you know,
right.
the tsunami that's coming.
Right.
And it's really a how can I say this? I'm trying to do that. It's a mindset. It's a philosophy, if you want to say. It's a lifestyle. It's men going their own way. Basically, layman's term, niggas is tired of y'all shit. You know, and it's not that I don't love you or that I hate you. It's that the playing field has to be level.
Okay.
And if it can't be level, I'd rather walk away and just deal with myself. Because what it's telling men, to build yourself up, to be your optimum self, to get your health right, to get your mentality right, to get spiritually right, to get your resources together, but not to squander it away the way society tells you have to.
Right.
Because, you know, you hear a lot of brothers, there's no plus side to marriage for a man. Divorced men is the fastest growing poverty group, but nobody cares. You know what I mean? It's so lopsided, and I hear when women talk, and I hear their cries, and I hear a lot of things that they say, and on a lot of levels they're correct.
Yeah.
And I'm not one to deny their story.
Yeah.
But at the same time, let's keep it 100 mile. Some of that is some bullshit. You kind of help create this shit the way it is. You know what I mean? The dating scene has never been the way it is right now.
Oh,
It is heavily in the woman's favor.
You think so?
I mean, women have never in recorded history have women had this many choices in far as ways they want to go about this shit, and this much control and power over the dating scene. And look where we're at.
See, I have
And
to
it's not pointing
disagree
fingers.
because I don't think that the dating scene is to a point where women have all these options. I feel like it's just a shitload of hurt people out there. And I feel like it's a lot of people who just like, fuck it, I'm doing what I want to do. I don't care what casualties I take along the way. You know what I mean? I watched this video today, and it probably was a good reason that my computer wouldn't let me record it, because it was this guy talking on there, and it was raw. And basically, to summarize what he was saying is, he's like, you know, fuck the MGTOW movement. He's like, it is what it is. He said, listen, nigga, get you a vehicle, get your money right and all that, because women are attracted to that. So once you do that, he basically like, you can get any woman you want. And then he like, I hope it ain't no kids in the background watching, but he like, you know, and then fuck the shit out of them and leave them bitches alone. Like, he was like, dick their ass down. Like, that's how he was coming. Dick their ass down and ditch them bitches. I was like, damn. But it seemed like that's how motherfuckers is moving. He like, sell them a dream. He said, basically, get your shit together to make it look like the dream you selling them, you could give them. Then they gonna give you basically what you want. Whether, you know, of course, the ass and anything else you want to get out of them, right? And then he like ditch them bitches and move on to the next.
See, that's bitter talk. That's
It
bitter.
is.
That's bitter. I resent women talk. That's not what men in the manosphere or the MGTOW movement is saying. They're saying, get your shit together. And by the way, this isn't just an American thing. This isn't just a black male American thing.
Yeah.
This is a global thing.
Yeah.
Men across the globe have been on this shit. White, black, rich, poor, Mexicans, short, tall, whatever. They tired of the shit. So they're starting to walk away. Like, you hear those, oh, no nut November, and that's cool. That's a challenge like TikTok. No, that's teaching men semen retention. That's and the benefits, you know what I'm saying, from health wise and mentally, what comes from that. Men are starting to look at it. Why give her your seed? For what? What has she done to deserve that? Why would you do
Asia.
Huh?
Vaughn, I would love to hear what you
Thanks for
got.
interrupting.
No.
I think I'm going to play devil's advocate for a moment.
Okay.
I think men are used to women being seen and not heard.
No.
And now women has found their voice, because before we were not allowed to express ourselves. And I know that he says it's global, but globally women are killed if they don't marry the people that their fathers married. Women are persecuted for going to school. So we don't want women to not have a say. They need to be able to be vocal, like you would want your daughters to be vocal.
Right.
We don't want the daughters to sit in silence and accept bullshit.
Again,
And I think what it is a lot of women these days refuse to accept that. And so they speak up for themselves, because remember, we stay in the background, be abused, and just have to take it and take care of our children. We were seen as nothing more than people who carry babies and take care of the household. And now that we've found our strength and got ourselves educated, we refuse to take someone who, we refuse to, I don't know quite how to say it, take any shorts. But there's a fine balance.
But no one is telling
So I can
you
understand where men are coming from as well. Because the women that they see these days, I can see why men don't get married. Because I look around like, well, but there still is a fine balance.
Right.
Of course
so
it is, but no one's. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No one's saying, again, not the extremist dudes that talk that crazy shit. No one's talking about women shouldn't have a voice. No one's saying anything stupid like, yo, women shouldn't go to school, or women, our daughters shouldn't be educated. He has 3 daughters. I have 3 daughters. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we're, oh, men good, women bad, shut up, get in the kitchen. No, we're not saying that. But like you said, it has to be balanced. It has to be accountability across the board.
That's it.
You can't come and say, hey, I need a man that's 6 figures, above 6 feet, you know what I'm saying, doing X, Y, and Z. But then when a man says, I don't want, you know what I'm saying, a chubby chick, or I don't want this, that, and the third, you shame him. Oh, he hates his mama. He gotta be gay. He gotta, you know.
So what you're saying is basically the same way that women have these preferences, that men have the right to have these as well, right? Standards, whatever the case may be.
Without the ridicule, without the, you have to accept this regardless of what I do, regardless of how I disrespect you, regardless of how I act, regardless of how I disrespect myself. You have to accept this behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Basically, character defects you have to accept. And if you don't, you the worst type. You a piece of shit.
Right.
So I'm not talking, again, I'm not saying that women don't have it hard in certain areas in life, because that would be true. You know what I mean? But we're talking about the flip side of this.
Right.
And is it equality or is it power?
Right.
Because,
and I think it's more so, I don't know. I think it's a fine line between that quality and power. You know what I mean? And I think too, we're generalizing it for all men, all women, whatever the case may be. But I think it's also about level of growth. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
And I think too, like you said, there's bitterness on both ends. So when you have that and you haven't truly healed from that, right? Of course, your thought process is going to be jaded. Am I wrong?
as far as the men or just in people in general?
In the opposite sex.
I think
Because it's just like the accountability. Like in all relationships, both parties played a part in it.
right.
Right? So if you haven't really dig down to look at where you played a part into why that relationship went wrong, and I think a lot of time with women, we just go with, oh, that nigga ain't shit, he cheated or whatever. Okay, sis, but, and I know we can't make them do something, but there's certain behaviors or whatever that make them not want to be around us. You know what I'm saying? Even in the stimulation part of it, like you can't expect for a man to be stimulated when you always talking down or you always nagging, like, you know.
Like, dig. Oh, I'm
sorry.
It's
We even let
self-assessment.
Brooke say nothing. Hold on.
I ain't said a motherfucker word yet.
Nah, because I want to get one more point in real quick. Like,
Go ahead.
your son's gonna have to grow up to deal with these type of women.
Yeah.
So, like, some of the things that we want, you know, our sister girl moments to, hey, this is me, and I want, you know, I'm gonna stand on my ground 10 toes. But you want your son to deal with that?
Absolutely.
Is that what you want your son to bring home to you?
Absolutely not.
So
And
why
then in the
sit up-
same token, you also have to think, do you want your daughter to deal with a man who wants to, instead of be a man, just want to be someone's child? Because I can say, speaking from my own experience, I don't want to be anyone else's mother. So And the same token, I think men and women both
Thanks, you
get
mean-
kind of disenfranchised because we both do things. But I don't think that one or the other is to blame. But we all do have to do our self work.
Right.
So you have to see you're the common denominator in certain situations. What you need to do to be the better you.
Right.
Factual.
Brooks, what
And for me, I feel this in the MGTOW, I feel like it's kind of sad in a way. Because what it says is, as a man, I'm going to raise the red flag because I don't think I have a real chance at this. But I also understand where they're coming from. Because I have 3 sons, so I have to understand. I have to understand that if a woman wants to say you harassed her, that she's automatically going to be believed until you're proven innocent.
Right.
And then at that point, you'll have to try to rescue reputation.
Right.
So I completely get it. I have somebody that I know that's currently fighting to get their children. And it seems as if the system doesn't even want to communicate with him, as if he doesn't even count as a man.
Right.
So that pissed me off because I'm like, I'm not as a woman going to allow you to chunk him off because I know a lot of great dads.
Right.
So I can see why men feel as if they're beat down because especially our black men are the most, what I want to say, not extinct, but they're the most endangered species. And as a black woman, I realize that. So I do my part to love them how I can. So when they go to this MGTOW, don't lump all women into that. Just like even though I've been disenfranchised and mistreated, I don't lump all men under one umbrella.
Right.
So don't give up, because I don't give up. I don't think they should give up. Because to me, MGTOW sounds like giving up.
And that's why we gotta have this awareness. Brooks, what were you gonna say?
All right, look. This I've been a student of this philosophy for over about say 7-8 years, and it's way deeper than what the tertiary definition that Asia just read off of the paper. It's way deeper than that. There are different facets to this. There's SYSBM. You know what I'm saying? Save yourself, black man. You understand? There's different areas to this whole MGTOW movement, and they all come under the manosphere umbrella. This is basically what it is. It's a rational response to female hypergamy and the modern female's idea of entitlement. That's exactly what it is. Now, before I continue with my point, madam, on the screen, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
The way that you feel in defense of black men is primarily based on the fact that you have black men, correct?
No, the fact that I have eyes and I see beyond my children. Because I have brothers, I have friends,
Okay.
I have co-workers, and I see how black men, I'm not going to say all men, I'm mostly focused on black men, but I see how black men are treated.
And so
that's, for me,
that's what I'm getting to right there. That's what I'm getting.
Okay.
That's the point that I'm getting to right there. Most modern women do not have that cultural transmission. You got that from somewhere. You understand what I'm saying? These women are the two things that are causing the divide between men and women are females' nature to be hypergamous, number one, and number two is this entitlement that they get to, okay, well, everything you should serve me and you should do this. Listen, to be in any relationship, it's a value proposition. You have to bring something to get something.
Yep.
And I hate the question, what do you bring to the table? Because to me, it's intellectually dishonest. Because you're saying something because it's a soundbite. You're not really putting any thought behind what you're talking about. But to get back to the philosophy that these men are adopting these philosophies to survive. If you've actually done the study and the stewardship over you paying attention to this space, you would realize that most of these men that are in this space are broken. So what's happening right now in society And I study this from many different facets because I'm a legacy creator. You understand? I cannot just be focused on what happens with me. You understand? I have 3 generations of women and 1 of a young man that I have to be responsible for in terms of the legacy creation that I started. Everybody in my house got the last name, including the fucking dog. You understand? So that's where I stand on my square with that. But you said what up?
I have a question for you. Are you in a relationship and how does that relate to you being part of MGTOW?
You said what up?
Are you in a relationship and how does that relate to you being, can you be part of MGTOW and in a relationship?
And see that gets into the different facets that I was giving you to begin with. You can be MGTOW. You can be MGTOW, you can be red pill, you can be black pill, you can be SYSBM. There are so many different areas to this. MGTOW is just where you were introduced to it. You see what I'm saying? There's a much deeper understanding of this. And I've been studying this primarily from the female vantage point because I'm a girl dad. Well, I was a girl dad until recently. So I had to study this from a female point of view. Because how am I going to extend my legacy if I don't know the psychology of the men that are out here available for my young girls to be with, right? But circling all the way back to what I was talking about in terms of MGTOW being a rational response to mistreatment, you have to understand that the logic makes sense. Rhetorically, it makes sense if you think about the definition that Asia just gave you. But in the implementation of it, it's coming from a fractured psyche. You understand? We have a lot of people that are coming up with philosophies from a fucked up mental point of view. Now, their logic may be sound in terms of following it step by step. You understand? You can't argue with someone wanting to get their life together for them.
How they got to that point.
But how they got to that point is the real chaser on that, because these men are broken. You understand? It's feminism was a weapon. It has always been designed to be a weapon, and it always will be a weapon. Feminism has built nothing. And you said what now?
Not so sure about that.
You said nothing true about that?
She said not so sure.
I said I'm not so sure that feminism was specifically built to put men down and built to build women up.
No, I didn't say that at all, sweetheart. I said it was a weapon.
I'm not sweetheart, but I didn't say that. I said that I don't think feminism was brought about in order to put men down. It was to uplift women because we found that when we were playing a background and being mistreated, so we decided to step to the forefront and do it was basically, you can't do right by me, let me do right by me.
That's not the point. That's not the point that I'm making at all. That's not the point that I'm making at all.
It doesn't make a difference. I mean, my perception of it, because I'm a female.
But you're defining something. You're defining something that I'm not even talking about. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything about feminism not uplifting women. I said it didn't build anything. There's a difference. There's a difference there. You can have a philosophy that empowers you, right? Mm-hmm. You can also have a philosophy that empowers you to build. The feminist philosophy only empowered you to fight against the white male hegemony that it was designed to take down. It has not built anything other than that. It has built women's their view of themselves, their self-esteem, and congratulations, that's wonderful. But it has not built anything sustainable in terms of, I'm a black man, I'm speaking to my black world. It has built nothing. It has built nothing sustainable in terms of black community.
So before you say, hold on.